Welcome to Graphic Design 101. In this video, you will learn all of the ins and outs of the graphic design process, anything and everything you need to know that will help you answer questions you may get from your clients. From word terminology that you may hear the artsy folks at Bell say occasionally, to the steps of the process from contract to proof, even a behind-the-scenes look at how things work in the design world and specifics that Bell requires. So let's dive in. To begin with, let's start with basic graphic design lingo. Specs. Specs is another word for canvas dimensions, color format, and file format. The next term would be canvas. The canvas is a designer's term for the drawing board. This is the background in which we use to design an ad. You can think of it as a blank canvas. The next term would be pixels. Pixels are very small dots that go together to form a picture on a television screen, computer monitor, etc. For example, as I zoom in on this Bell logo, you'll start to see tiny dots appear. These are pixels. The next term would be high res, aka high resolution. High resolution is an output device that produces images that contain a large number of dots per unit of area and are therefore sharp and very detailed. A high resolution image will have more dots, or pixels, which results in a larger dimension size and file size. High resolution images are typically more crisp and clear than low resolution images. Now that you know the artsy terms, let's dig into how the process works. Let's start after you have the signed contract. Once you have the signed contract, now it's time to get design material from your client to your local graphic designer. This material can be anything from logos, pictures, text, etc. It may also be helpful to get other forms of advertising ads to keep their overall look consistent through all types of advertising. One example would be a magazine ad. We can incorporate design elements from previously used marketing material to design something new to fit our media. Basically, any and all information from the client is helpful to the designer. Also, since our designers at Bell Media typically don't have any interaction with your clients, we always come into the design process with a blank canvas. With this being said, us designers need to know anything and everything about the client's business. Anything from who is the client trying to reach? Do they have any special promotions? To, do they have any colors that they usually stick with for their brand look? We need to know all about them. This is also a good time to mention also that the key to effective designs is to keep your content minimal. Overloading one ad with a book report of information makes the ad crowded, which doesn't allow room to breathe. It is very important that the content is minimal so that the viewer has enough time to see and clearly read all of the information in the ad. After you have this information and you have inserted the sales order for this account, you will then compose an email to your local graphic designer detailing what the client wants to see in their ad and attach all items necessary. Here's an example. From Kara Hathcock. Hi Blair, will you please come up with a great design for Tina at the Blonde Grasshopper? They are a boutique on Atlanta Highway catering to women from their teens up. They even have a few pieces for girls. She is very affordable and has wonderful customer service and would like for that to be noted on her design. She has Facebook and Instagram. For this particular ad, she really wants to focus on the affordability of her clothing, shoes, and jewelry. She has attached photos of 2 new items she would like to showcase. She will be sending me a high-resolution logo as well for us to use. Her logo is pink, white, and green. The Blonde Grasshopper is located at 5153 Atlanta Highway. The phone number is 334-517-1580. Her website is www.blondegrasshopper.com. Thanks, Kara. It is very important that you send every design request to the designer in an email. This helps us designers stay organized. It is important not to call a designer after you leave every meeting that you have with the client. Since there are countless design requests we receive daily, it is impossible for us to stay organized if we receive a phone call from every account executive. Yes, you can imagine how stressful that would be. You could pretty much scratch my job title from graphic designer to receptionist. The designer will then begin working on the ad using the material that you sent over. What you are now watching is a fast-forwarded version of the design process from start to finish. This process can take several days, based on overall workload amount at that specific time. It is essential that you try to give the designer enough time to work on your client's ad to perfect and tweak it. The last thing we want to do is throw something together last minute just to get the client's ad up and running. Remember, it's always better to underpromise and overdeliver. Once the ad is completed, the designer will insert the ad into a proof document, shown here. This proof will be sent to you in an email so that you can send it to your client for proofing. It is important that you stress to your client that revisions will be limited. Therefore, they need to take time reviewing the ad and make a list of all items that need to be changed. This is important because revisions can really eat up time for designers going back and forth several times. We want to ensure that our time isn't wasted on tons of little revisions that could have been presented all at once in the beginning of the revision process. As promised, here's a look behind the scenes. Some of you may think that designers can just go straight to your client's website and pull pictures and logos from there. It's that simple. Well, we wish it was that easy. However, with websites, the images are typically inserted smaller than we need in comparison to our design sizes. Let me show you an example. The image I have here was taken straight from a website, and as you can tell, it is quite small. The reason it doesn't work is because the pixels are much smaller than our overall canvas size, and when we enlarge the image, it becomes pixelated and blurry. Since we want a nice, crisp, and clean look, we need high-res images to insert into our canvas. Here's an example of a high-res image inserted into our canvas. See how I can drop the image into the canvas and then size it down to fit properly? See how the image is still clear? This is exactly what we want. Remember, an image can be sized down and the image integrity will stay intact, but sizing an image up creates pixelated and fuzzy images. Here's some other helpful information. If your client has an agency or they have someone that will create their ad for them, Bell Media has a spec sheet document that has the size requirements needed and all other information the designer should need to create your client's ad. Some market size requirements are different than others, so be sure you review the spec sheet to see the differences. Ask your area manager where this spec sheet document is located. It would be helpful if you placed a copy of this document on your desktop or in a place where you can access it quickly if needed. We do require email approval from the client on all artwork prior to posting. Another fun type of ad that we can create for clients is an animated video ad. Animated ads do take more time to create than static or still ads. Therefore, we do charge extra for these ads. Ask your sales manager to get the exact cost of an animated ad if you have a client that is interested in this. If your client wants to use the design that Bell Media provided for other purposes, we would be more than happy to send a copy of the ad to them. We understand the importance in having a consistent brand through all types of design and marketing combined. Occasionally, clients ask to use design elsewhere and then, however, may need the ad reworked to fit a different size format. In this case, Bell would charge a standard fee to cover the designer's time spent resizing the ad for them. Contact your sales manager to get the exact cost of this. Well, that should do it for Graphic Design 101. Here is a quick recap of what we went over. We create our customers' ads on a canvas, which is a different size based on the market and product type. The canvas specs can be found in our file sharing account. Also, we like to get high-resolution images from clients. This will ensure that the images are usable and look crisp once complete. Secondly, once you have secured a new client, be sure to request logos, images, colors, etc. And for us to produce the best results for our clients, get to know their target market, goals of the campaign, and any other details that would help bring a campaign to life. Third, after you have received this information, send your local graphic designer a detailed email highlighting what the client needs or wants to see from their advertisements. Remember, the more detail, the better. Fourth, after we create an ad, we will send you a proof, which will then need to be sent to the client. Most customers want to see revisions, which are very time-consuming, so be sure to gather as much information from the client about their revisions before getting back to us. Bell Media limits the number of revisions a client can have. Lastly, once the artwork is approved by the customer, Bell Media requires an email written approval before any design goes live. This concludes Graphic Design 101. Good luck out there.